You good?
Oh
All right.
man. Okay, go ahead.
You see the red dot?
I do not. Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. So that's
I
how you
see
go
it.
to the
Yes.
story. All right. All right, cool. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch, where this is a podcast that is not as harsh as the name suggests. My name is Rudy Wilson. I am not joined by my co-host, Meggie. She's out of town, running the streets probably. But we always bring a special guest on. And I got another sister of mine. You've met her sister, older sister, Kawana. And now she is here representing the millennial tyrants that we are. We have a very love-hate relationship. You know, for some reason, we can only be nice to each other for probably 10 seconds at a time. And then, you know, something insulting has to happen. But nonetheless, here we are. So welcome, Nece. I guess you don't want to be called Janice, right? Just Nece's cool.
Yeah, Nece is fine.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you do it like, because how old are you now, Nece? What you got to be, what? 30,
What?
28,
You're
29?
not supposed to ask a woman her age.
You
But
can't
I'm
ask
29.
you can't ask a woman their age even in the 20s? I thought that was like when you 50 or something.
Because I'm at that age now where I'm like, oh my God, I'm 29. So therefore I'm approaching.
Right.
So
you
it's
gotta,
time to stop asking.
so if you start now, then by the time you get to an age you don't want people to know, then they won't even
They won't be able to calculate because they're like,
right.
she's not telling us she's like 29. So
right.
they won't know.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, nonetheless, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am great, Rudy. And so since, you know, we have this love-hate relationship, should I start with these dumbass braids or that dumbass shit?
You can start with either one. I'm proud of both. I actually, and hold on for 1 second. I'm about to switch my Wi-Fi because this shit is acting dumb. Hold on. On my side, not yours.
Okay. So I'm not like frozen. Mine.
No. So because for some reason my Wi-Fi has two different ones you can choose, and it always automatically chooses the 2G instead of 5G. So I just switched it. But okay, that's neither here nor there. But so the tree is actually a quarantine tree. I got it from I didn't like get it from the neighbor, but we have like this table in my apartment complex where people just put stuff if they don't want it. And so I grabbed it. You know, I was like, you know, I do podcasts. Just want something in the background. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. You know.
I mean, yeah, I like the idea. It definitely does look like the tree has COVID, but it's nice, I guess. It works.
And then the braids, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, I live in a studio. So this is literally like a corner of my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a separate room. So I have to just make people believe that I'm popping. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what is popping is these braids. Why you hate? You feel what I'm saying? Now these is what's popping. This is my pride and joy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you go look at some of my earlier stuff when quarantine started, I had an afro. I just want to show you the progression of, you know what I'm saying? Not even a whole year. And I'm out here stunting inches.
I mean, well, you know, you like low key, like mixed, though. It works. So I'm not surprised that your hair grew like, you're like a chia pet, so.
God damn. A chia pet. Well, they actually only can grow afros, you know what I'm saying? So you got to call me something else, like chinchilla pet or something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, chinchilla pet.
That you know what I'm saying, hanging down. Speaking of chinchillas, did you watch the Gucci versus Jeezy battle first?
You know I did. Team Gucci.
Are you Team Gucci?
I'm Team Gucci, absolutely.
Gotcha. I'm way more. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna say way more of a fan. I just know more of Jeezy's songs because just when I grew up, I heard him like through a little bit of childhood and then even through college. Mm-hmm. Gucci, I heard way more of like my into high school. Like I don't know. I just feel like I caught on to him later and I just knew more of his songs that I didn't remember it was his. But like Jeezy songs, like I, you know, was listening to like albums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and I think it's with you, but you're like, what, 3 years older than me? So when 31. I was going into high school, you was like leaving high school. So for me, Gucci was high school for us.
Gotcha.
And so I'm just more of like a Gucci fan. I mean, I used to love Jeezy, but it's just like his current years, it just makes me feel like, ugh.
His current years make you feel ill? As
Like
far as his music, or just him as a person?
just him as a person, his music, he just doesn't do it for me anymore.
What is he doing wrong as a person? I haven't really seen him in
I mean,
the
it's not
spotlight
that he's
outside
doing
of.
anything wrong as a person, but like for me, Jeezy was like this picture perfect thug, like thug motivation. That's what he, preached or whatever. And then he got with Jeannie Mai, and she just be making him look like a soft teddy bear, and I don't like it. Okay.
Well, for one, he's like 40 something. You know what I'm saying? At 40 something, like you should be a soft teddy bear. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, Gucci is also in a relationship, and they're like goals. And he's not a soft teddy bear, but he still respects the woman.
But Gucci is with somebody who matches his energy. Like they're both ratchet people, and I don't mean that as an insult. I'm saying like
is not ratchet.
Okay. I mean, I think to be married to Gucci, you kind of have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Gucci, I mean, even in the verses, like he just was blatantly disrespectful. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just wouldn't stop. Like, I mean, he did at least 4 diss songs out of the 20 songs he played. You know what I'm saying? So
crazy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and for me, I feel like, but and I'll say this real quick, and we can move on. We don't have to harp on Jeezy and Gucci, but I will say, very mature what Jeezy did, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of expected more in this old age. But what I didn't realize about Jeezy, I would say is, and I especially recognize it in their 2 musics. Like they both made trap music, but like Gucci made trap music to paint a picture of as if like not only like I came from the trap, but I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like dope fiends, you know what I'm saying? Crackhead this, I made this, do this for it. That's like Gucci, you know what I'm saying? And Jeezy did a lot more of I was in the trap, I used rap to become this trap star, like to become this big star, but it's you know what I'm saying, but moving away from it or whatever like that. And so I feel so with that being said, going back to my point of their choice of women, granted, Jeezy had Keisha Cole, which whatever, which was ratchet, but Kior. No. Jeezy, I'm saying when he dated Keisha Cole, right.
Oh yeah.
But I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, but I for his type of demeanor, I feel like that's just more of him because once again with Gucci, like he's like Gucci is however old, and he is still disrespectful, still whatever, still like he's just still Gucci. Like he came back looking better out of jail, you know what I'm saying? But his mindset pretty much the same, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So but I like both of them. I really this was my favorite verses because I mean I'm being from Atlanta, I grew up on both their music, so I was lit. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Yeah, I did as well. Even though I'm not like gun-ho crazy over Jeezy anymore, it was amazing altogether.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Epic. Well, shout out to Black people, I guess, we did the culture, all that stuff. So you being a Black woman, first of all, let's talk about your background. So you can just tell us real quick, where you're from, where you grew up, where you at now, just, quick little history.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm from Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn. I was a terrible child. So headed nowhere fast, basically.
Gotcha.
I was a fighter. I have been arrested. Just everything.
For fighting or for like stealing?
For fighting. Okay. And they arrested me. They hit me with like an assault charge for this girl. She had like a concussion and it was just bad. I was just a bad girl. Like if you look at me today, you would never think, because I'm like so girly and you would never think, but I grew up very rough. I was a tomboy.
That's why you like Gucci. It makes sense now.
Yeah, I'm like ratchet at heart. I just don't look. Because one thing about my mother, like she always, even when we was growing up in the hood, she always made sure like do not be a product of your environment. Like other girls, they could go out the house and they could wear their pajamas or they could wear a head tie on their head. My mother was having none of it. If you got up in the morning, you had to put on clothes. Saturday and Sunday, you don't have to go to school, but you still gonna get up and you're gonna get dressed as if you're going somewhere. So I always made sure that my appearance was up to par, but I was rough. And so my mother was basically just like, I got to get her out of here because it's either like she's going to end up dead or she's going to end up in jail. Like it really was that bad. Like I was like a little boy. Gotcha. And so we moved to Florida. She made the decision.
Can I stop you for one quick second? When you were in New York doing all of this, were were you the type of person who also hung around guys and was fighting, or were you hanging around girls, but then and it just was still happening? Like, who were you more your friends? Both, okay.
Both. Like for me, like I had this one best friend. She was like my best friend from elementary school, and then we went to middle school together. And she was just like a bully. She was such a bully, and she used to just pick on people. So a lot of times the fights that I was having was something that she got into, and I just had to, step in. I was more of like the nice one.
Right.
I didn't pick on people. If somebody was picking on somebody, I'm gonna intervene. I was that person. But my best friend was like complete opposite. But I hung out with a lot of boys too because I was like rough like them. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. And then so y'all moved to Florida.
So we moved to Florida, and life changed. Like,
and what ages was it for you? You said 13?
14.
14.
Gotcha. It was my 9th grade year. So my high school. I moved here in 9th grade.
Gotcha. Just real quick side note, when coming to Florida, was that the introduction to Gucci, or were you already knowing about him in New York?
I had no idea who Gucci was when I lived in New York.
Gotcha.
Was he? Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
I didn't know him then.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't even think I knew Gucci in 9th grade. I probably got on Gucci in like 10th or 11th.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I had no idea who he was.
Gotcha.
In New York, we listened, like when I got here, let me see. We was like heavy on like Dipset, G Unit, that type of stuff. Cash Money did hit hard when I was younger. So we did listen to that. But Southern rappers.
They were Cash Money was pretty. They were pretty, at least nationwide by that time for sure. Yeah. But Gucci even now. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's people who don't even know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, black people do, but I'm sure in other cultures, because he pretty much kind of made his money with what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So gotcha.
I think I think he got more notoriety when he got out of prison, just for the simple fact that I feel like Keisha kind of was like making him more known to people that may not have known of him before, and even the fact that he did the whole engagement at the game, I think that's kind of what brought attention to him and brought him to other avenues.
What did I honestly, and I don't, this is no disrespect to her, but I didn't know about her until her being with him. So like who just real quick, you don't have to go into her deep story, but like, was she like a model or something, or like a singer or something, or? Yeah,
she was like a video vixen type of girl. Okay, gotcha. I think what she got known when she did Timbaland's Say Something video.
Okay, gotcha.
Like a long time ago, Timbaland and Drake. It was called Say Something, and she had like this hairstyle that nobody ever seen, and a lot of girls started mimicking her, and like she set a lot of trends.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of like how she got on, and then she how girls used to wear like the colorful lipstick, like the black, purple, blue. She started that trend, and then she started like a makeup line, and she had like a lipstick line and stuff like that. So that's kind of like why she's known for.
Gotcha. Okay.
Outside of Gucci.
Gotcha.
So then we came here to Florida, and from there I became a decent person.
So when you came to Florida, you, like all the fighting stopped. It just stopped, like, or you just here and there.
When we came to Florida, my mother was living like. So when they first got down here, like my mom and my sisters, when they first moved, I didn't come with them because I had an open case, so I couldn't leave the state of New York. So they moved down. Shut up.
How do you have an open case at 14?
Yeah. So they moved down here, and I had to stay in New York. I was not a fan of my father's wife, so I stayed with my mother's sister. I stayed with my aunt, and my father used to, of course, come and check on me all the time. And he was the one who used to have to take me back and forth to court, to my court cases and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I moved down here maybe like 6 months after them. So when I first got here, my mom was living on the south side of Jacksonville. And, that's more of like it's not that rough or whatever. Outside is decent, And so she was renting a house while her home was being built. So I ended up having to go to a south side school, which was Wolfson.
Gotcha.
But then we moved to the west side. She was building her house on the west side, and my zone school would have been Forest. And so we didn't know much about Jacksonville, but my mom was talking to some people, and they was like, yeah, don't send her to Forest because she'll probably just end up going down the same path that she was already in.
Right.
I ended up going to Wilson, and I met like a decent group of girls that we just clicked from day one, and they was completely different.
So even when y'all had moved to the west side, you were just still going to Wilson?
I still went to Wilson.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Because my mom did not want me to go to school on the west side because I probably would have, fell into the wrong crowd. So I met a decent group of girls, and they were not on the stuff that my friends previously were on. Right. So, if you have better people around you, you're going to do better. Right. And so they were more like good girls. They was more into like dressing up and getting good grades and stuff like that. So I just kind of fell in line. But I will say it was like a big culture shock for me when I first got here, because I was like this, I was girly, but I was a tomboy too. Mm-hmm. And the way these girls dressed down here was completely different. They were like grown women. Like they had on heels. They were like heels and Dora book bags. So I was like, what the hell is you little grown ass little girl? Like
heels and Dora book bags.
Heels and Dora book bags, like literally. I was like, what is this? So I was more of because New York, like, even though it's like the hood, they are like extremely high maintenance. Like you could live in the projects, but you're gonna be prodded out. Right. Like you're gonna have Prada, Gucci, you're gonna have Celine, and it's gonna be real. Right. And so when I got down here, I was used to wearing, stuff like that, like Prada, Jordans, and they just were not wearing any of those things. So it was like, I'm dressing my ass off, and y'all don't even know what I got on.
Right.
Y'all don't even know what I'm wearing.
Right.
So it just took a while that I felt awkward, because I'm like, as soon as I open my mouth, they know, they know I'm not, they looking at me, they know I'm not from here. Then I open my mouth, they really know I'm not from here. So it was hard. Like I hated my mother for doing this to me, even though I did it to myself.
Right.
Because my mother was like a diehard Brooklyn fan. Like she never thought she would leave New York. But for your child, you do anything.
Do you know what made her choose Jacksonville specifically?
Okay, so we're from New York, but my mom was adopted. So her family is from her adopted family is from South Carolina. So they're from the South. So even when we lived in New York, my mother had got a house in South Carolina, but it was not, she was thinking about moving there, but it was kind of going to be like a vacation home kind of. Whenever we go to South Carolina, we have somewhere to stay. But then she was like, you know what, I'm gonna move to South Carolina. But the area that my family is from in South Carolina is so country. Like it's called Coosahatchee. There's nothing. Coosahatchee, okay? Like my family have like roads named after them and stuff. Like they got their own cemetery. Like my family got their own cemetery there. So it's like really country. And so her job couldn't accommodate her moving there. So she was like, okay, I can't go there because where am I going to work? So in 2005, Florida had some really bad storms, and my mom is in insurance. She's a claims adjuster, and her job sent her to Florida to work those claims. They call them like cat claims. So she was sent to Florida to work the claims, and so she kind of was like, okay, well, Nece going crazy in New York, maybe I could do this. And so when she went down to Florida, it was like for 5-6 months, she left me in New York with my sisters. My sisters were like young.
Right.
I'm young, wild, it's over. Right. So I guess, she was like, all right, well, I can consider Florida. And so when she came back from working the cat claims, she already had in her mind, like, I'm getting her out of here. And a position came available in Jacksonville. We had never heard of Jacksonville a day in our life. We did not know what Jacksonville was.
Right.
The Jaguars. Like, we didn't know anything.
Right.
So I was just like, what is that? Like, you're not even moving me to Miami? Like, we're not going to what is Jacksonville?
Out of all the places in Florida, you go to Jacksonville.
Like, you're just making shit up. Like, what is that? It's not even a place. It's on the map.
Right.
So that's where we ended. That's where the opening was for her job. And so that's where we went. And I thank God, because it would have been a hell of a lot better than South Carolina.
Yeah, was it Coosahatchee?
Coosahatchee. Okay.
Anything with hatchy at the end of it, something like that, that shit is some country shit.
But hatchy. It's so crazy because at first I kind of did want to move to South Carolina because I had so much family there. I've always liked the country. Like even when we lived in New York, I used to love when we would go down to South Carolina because it was going to be peaceful and just, different from the city. So I did like that. But yeah, I
But
don't know how.
it's a difference visiting the country and living in the country.
Yes, right. So shout out to
Yeah.
Jacksonville because yeah,
Which is low key like kind of like hood and country in its own right. It's
yeah.
Jacksonville, a
And
little
I love
country.
it now. I just knew like once I turned 18, I was like, I'm gonna turn 18. I'm out of here. And then I
Gotcha.
turned 18. And I was like, I don't want to go back to New York.
Did you as far as like dealing with like guys, did you ever, because I mean I know you were, I guess, fairly on the younger side in New York, did you ever like have a boyfriend or something at that age, or all your dating and stuff started in Florida?
No, I absolutely had a boyfriend. I had the best
Okay.
boyfriend in the world in New York. I'm telling you, like, still to this day, I'm 29, and I don't think I have met a nigga that was more of a man than this boy. I swear, it does not make any sense. Like, because even when I first moved down here, like, we were so close and so bonded. Like, I really felt like he was like the love of my life. So when I first moved down here, I didn't even talk to guys. Like, I didn't even consider talking to anybody until I was like in 12th grade. Because I was with this boy from like 6th grade through like 11th. Like he was everything. So even when like when I first moved down here, because I was being good, my mother used to send me to New York all the time. So I used to be up there on the weekends, every month, every holiday. Everyone was like, did you really leave? Because like you're always here.
Right.
And me and him was still like together. And I didn't even consider anybody down here for a long time.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And that lasted all the way to 11th grade, like while you were still 11th. Okay, go ahead.
All the way to 12th, because I started dating somebody my senior year, and when I started dating him my senior year, he was intimidated by the relationship that I had with my ex or whatever. He was like, y'all still too close, and I just don't, I don't get it. I'm not comfortable with that. So I ended up cutting him off. Or whatever. But yeah.
So when you were doing this whole long distance relationship, did the kids, like the boys or whatever in Florida, like did they know about this person like already? Even like was this like a known thing, like yo, Nece got this boyfriend in New York type of thing? Or
yeah, like whenever somebody would try to talk to me, I'm like, nah, I have somebody, like they
but
not here.
But I'm saying even at like the school, like was that a known thing? Like, oh yeah, she don't talk to nobody here because her boyfriend in New York. Like, was that like well known?
No, they just thought I didn't like them, or like I was mean and just just shutting them down. But
right. Living in Jacksonville for 7 years. I mean, I definitely know about the high schools in reference to the names, but I don't really know the dynamics. So was Wolfson? Is that a like predominantly black, white? What's like the setup?
Well, I would say Wolfson is mixed, but I would say it's predominantly black.
Okay, got you. So
like,
okay.
Still had like a variety of people, but I do think that it was still more black students than anything else.
Got you. Well, I was asking because I was thinking about just in the sense of, because and not that this is your case, but let's say like if you went to an all white school and you didn't like white boys, I would imagine that would make it a lot easier as opposed to, because my next question was going to be, were any of these people who were approaching you like, did you have any interest, think they were cute or anything, and you just really stuck with this guy, or did this guy not even make you see attractive men? Like you just thought everybody was ugly and you just was.
No, well, the options were there. Now I will say this: when I did first get here, my type was completely different than the guys that were here because, of course, a New York nigga and a Floridian is like two totally different things. So when I first got here, I was like, "Ew, they have dreads. That's nasty. Ew, they have golds in their mouth. Like that is disgusting. Like, ew." So when I first got here, it was that. Like I was not attracted to them. I was just like, "Ew, like, grungy." No. So that was one of the biggest problems at first. Like they were not my type. But just of course, like the more time I spent here, that is my type now.
For sure.
So yeah, at first it was just kind of like I'm not interested.
Do you at this point prefer like a Floridian or just say a Southern guy over a Northern guy, or are you still more leaning towards the North?
Yeah, no, I prefer a Southern guy.
Now, interesting. Why you say that?
I don't know. I just love their little country asses. Like I prefer it now. I don't even know. I don't even think I would be able to deal with a New York guy for the most part now, because they're so cocky and they're just so. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Their energy is amazing, but I don't know if like we probably would butt heads a lot.
See, it's interesting that you said that because when I had Kawana on, she was saying that well, we were talking about the difference between like Southern guys and then like New York guys or whatever, and she was her. I don't remember if she necessarily said she liked New York guys like better as far as preference, but I know her biggest thing that she I guess liked about New York guys over Southern, the biggest discrepancy she had about, I guess I should say, about the Southern guys was that they're not as aggressive. Like a New York guy is aggressive, they're gonna walk right in front of you, blah blah blah. She was like, if a New York guy wants you, like you're his, in his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like he's coming, he's gonna grab your hand, whatever. Yeah. Right, as opposed to she was like, she'd be here in the South, she'd be at ale house or whatever, and a guy, Southern guy would just watch her the whole night and then let her leave and never say nothing. You know what I'm saying? That was her. So how do you feel about that whole thing?
I absolutely agree with her completely. Now, I wish I could take the aggression of a New York man and put it into a Southern man. Absolutely. Because literally from the time, if I go to JFK, from the time I step off that plane,
right,
them men they're aggressive, they're gonna go crazy, they're gonna approach you. It's just gonna be, they're not gonna let you pass. Like when they see you, a man will chase you down 5 blocks and your number.
Right.
Okay. He will jump in front of a cab. He don't care. Like he's gonna make sure like you don't get away. But I do notice like men here, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if like these women pursue them a little bit more here. Like they used to be pursued here, so they think that you're supposed to come to them. Right. But yeah, I would say it is a big difference as far as like aggression, and a Southern man will just let you go.
I will. So to speak for the Southern men who will let you go, I will say this is my theory. I don't really know that this is necessarily true. Because I say I'm speaking for those men because I'm definitely grew up in the South all my life. I'm definitely I wouldn't say I'm as timid as some Southerners, but I'm definitely not nowhere near New York aggressive. But I told Kwan the same thing. This is my theory. I think that because of at once upon a time, there was a line that split between like civil rights and freedom and whatever else like that. So my theory is this: if you dating back from whenever and then just allowing that to fast forward to our generation now, I just think that people who live up north, you've always had a certain level of freedom. So I think that cockiness comes from it never ever really being a bondage situation in just say New York or up north or whatever, as opposed to like down south. Granted, I never grew up with like civil rights issues, whatever like that, but I was definitely like drilled in my head. We in the South, you black, right. You white folks will kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you have like more of like a humble, just I think that's where that comes from. Like it's because even which it's one thing for New York guys if they were just say, bold, but they're also they have like a cockiness to it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes from not that any of us today would have experienced it, but just the generations of we've been can do what we want up here, down south, especially even if a black dude wanted to talk to a white woman or whatever like that, like it's definitely I watch from over here, see if she give me the eye, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. So that's my theory. I
think what she probably failed to mention too is that those same New York men who approach you, if you're not interested, they will curse you out like a dog. She didn't tell you that part, right?
Right. No,
well, if you do that, B,
right.
You're ugly anyway. Right. Okay. All right.
You chased me 5 blocks, but now I'm ugly anyway.
I had a group of men chase me and throw garbage can at me and banana peels and all kind of stuff just because me and my homegirls did not want to talk to them.
Wow.
Like, seriously. And I don't mean like a little flimsy garbage can. Like in New York, like on the corners, they have like these steel garbage cans. And they picked it up and threw it at us. So yeah,
Jesus
she didn't mention that part.
Right. No, she didn't mention that. She didn't mention that part. I don't know. Okay. Maybe she just got feared into just always giving out a number. Maybe she gives a fake one. She has like a fake one on deck. You know,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of that, do you have a? Because I learned this recently in my adult age. I think especially when I was in like the army. Do you have a? Do you go to the club with like already like a fake name and all that stuff like on deck? Is that a thing with women?
Not anymore, but like back in the day, I used to tell men like my name was Star Mecca.
Star Mecca.
Yeah, because I had a best friend and her name was Star Mecca, and it was so ghetto. And I remember like back in the day, I was like, I want a ghetto name. Why did my mother give me a ghetto name? Like, why is my name Janice? Like, that's so what? Doesn't match my behavior.
Right.
So I just took my best friend name and I used to tell people my name was Star Mecca. And
Star.
as far as like today, I'll tell them my real name and I will intend to give them a fake number. So my intentions is to give them my number, but just to change the last number. And I'll always end up giving them the right number. So whatever. So I'll just give them now
Right.
I just give them my number and block them.
Gotcha.
I'll block you.
Right. So what's your so real quick before I guess we get into the darker side of it in reference to like well, I guess no pun intended on this because I was going to ask a question about white men, but I didn't mean darker side as far as dark men. I meant like I meant like you know like the darker side of the conversation. But what I was getting ready to ask is do you do you date outside of the black race in any form of fashion, whether it's white, Latino, Asian, anything outside of black? I mean, don't include if it's like African, Jamaican, or Haitian. What I'm saying is, skin complexion wise.
Oh, they're my people, so you already know.
Right.
I will. Since you threw Hispanic men in there, absolutely, I would date a Hispanic man.
Gotcha.
Love them. But as far as like somebody that's not of color, no.
Gotcha. Is there a reason why, or is it just physical preference,
I just love black men. Like I love black men. I love our culture. I'm so pro black, and I don't know. I can't love my culture and build up my culture and be dating something else. I just feel like it's a contradiction. It don't go hand in hand. But I will say this: I love interracial love. I have no problem with a black man dating outside of their race, and I used to, but that was just my ignorance. But now I love interracial love because it's like the biggest form of love. Like especially like you see the tensions and the way things are going in the world. When you find somebody that like I love him regardless of his color, like that's beautiful to me. But it's not for me though.
For sure, right?
It's beautiful for her.
Right.
Not me. Give me a black man, please.
That's so nice. Hey, nigga, come here for a second.
Yeah. No,
but let me ask you this though: what makes you feel? And I'm not asking it to scrutinize. I'm just curious. What makes you feel that you can't just say be about the black agenda with a white counterpart or spouse?
It just does for me. It just does not. Not saying that you can't be, but I just feel like whatever you preach, you should live it. Like I can't tell you to, you should bargain shop. Like save your money, bargain shop, okay? And I'm sitting here with a Louis on my arm. Why? What are you telling me? No.
Right.
No. So I can't be like, oh, I love the black community. I love my people. We gotta build our community, but you building somewhere else with somebody else.
But are you though? Like, and granted, I'm not gun ho about marrying a white woman. I'm not saying this because this is my path. But what I'm saying is like, because like if you as a black person, I'll put me in. So me as if me as a black man like marries just say like a white woman. If I start a family with her and we take a picture, she is the only white person in the picture.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Well,
so
technically.
No, I'm saying not if we put her grandparents. I'm saying if we just the immediate household, me, the white wife, and our kids, she's going to be the only white person on there because all the mixed kids are going to be considered black. I'm going to be considered black.
But that's why I said technically because that's not fair. We have to also get out of this because that's what has been beaten into us by the white man to tell a mixed child that they are only black. That's not fair to a mixed child. You're not just a black person. You're also white as well. And we have to get out of that mentality because we always make mixed kids think that they have to identify as black and they don't have to because they're not. They're not only black.
I agree with that,
She's
but
kind of only the white person in the
right. But I agree with that. But when you say like just say we were trained that way by the white person,
because if you had, they used to tell you if you have even a little drop of black blood, you're black. So we have that mentality, and that's not true. That's not fair.
But so okay. So let me ask you this: if you were a mixed child, especially in 2020 with everything that's going on, which one would you feel more comfortable choosing? Because to me, and I'm gonna just make my case real quick before you answer that. I think that actually, I'll let you answer first. I'll say that. So what would you choose?
If I was a mixed child,
white and black, white parent, black parent,
white parent, black parent, I would probably, of course, identify as a black woman. And I only say it's not fair to tell them that they have to, because they are both. But we know that race is just basically determined by how someone perceives you. Like, because you look black, they're going to say you black, because that's basically what a race is. A race is like, we're not talking about your ethnicity, your makeup. We're literally just talking about your race. And so if you go into the DMV and they have to put a race on your ID, they're not going to ask you what you are. They're going to put that race on your ID based on what they see you as.
For sure.
And that's going to be a black person. So yeah, of course, if I was mixed, I would probably identify as a black woman.
So my follow-up question to that is going back to your original point as far as it not being fair that they should be like forced ID, because you're right. Like if you got a white parent and a black parent, you're just as much white as you are black. So you literally could be like, nah, like because like to your point, people who are biracial, majority, if not all, they don't ever really say I'm mixed, I'm biracial, I'm light skinned, or they just say I'm black or I'm a nigga or I'm whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some of them even considered the angriest. You know what I'm saying? They're the most pro-black people that you could ever meet. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But so my question is like, what with the way that, because unless you come out like Mariah Carey, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she has a black mom, but Mariah Carey, if you just look at her,
it's her dad supposedly.
Oh, well, I went off the movie that she made, but she had the black mom in the movie. But
what, Glitter?
Yeah, Glitter or whatever that trash movie was. But I'm saying, she was showing that she was biracial in the movie, and the mom was the one that was black in the movie. So that's what I went by. Never really researched it, but I guess I should have did my homework on Mariah Carey's parents. But what I'm saying is, but just looking at her, if you never know that, you would just assume she's a white woman. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that you are. I agree with you wholeheartedly in the sense of what you said as far as them being forced and we shouldn't make them. But I think that'll be a hard cycle to break, I guess is my point, because of even just society. Because like you said, it's going off that look like, yeah, your mom's white, but your hair got a little nap to it. White people hair don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it you know what I'm saying? Like our hair is a lot silky or whatever. So to me, I feel like I don't know. They may be always stuck. I don't know if that'll ever be a thing.
That's true. And I only started thinking about like that recently, because I always know your ass black. But speaking to like more mixed people, sometimes they don't feel comfortable having to choose a side. But a lot of times it's just easy for them to say they're black too, because a lot of times if you have your mom is white and she's dating a black man, she probably don't even act like a white woman anyway. So they kind of just identify with the culture. It just is what it is.
Which is low key, I feel like a waste, because like if I marry a white woman, I just want you to act white. You know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to marry a sister, I would have just married a black woman. Like I don't want a ratchet white woman. Like, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Like at all. Why are you ratchet?
Right. Like, but okay, whatever. And so just out of curiosity, would your whole Hispanic fascination, because you got pretty excited when I brought up Hispanic men. Which one would you prefer between black and Hispanic? Just a fun question, just out of preference.
See, okay, so I like Hispanic men only because I'm from Brooklyn, so we are like, New York City is just diverse, period. So you have all type of cultures there. So I grew up, around a lot of Hispanic men as well. So that's what I've seen. So I think naturally what you grow up around is what you tend to, get attracted to. So I grew up around Hispanics and I grew up around Black. So Hispanic and Black men are my thing. I would prefer a Black Hispanic.
Black Hispanic meaning like they're biracial, or meaning like they're Dominican or something, like dark
I
skin
mean, like they
Hispanic.
gotta be like Afro Hispanic, like you
Right,
gotta
right,
be like
right,
an Afro Cuban
right,
or
right, right.
Afro,
Gotcha,
Dominican, whatever.
gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. You what was I getting ready to say? So I know that's your preference, but when it comes down to Spanish guys, like, would you? Because there's even a difference with them. Like, so of course they have their whole color difference, but just say like even if both of them are of the lighter skin of the Hispanic spectrum, does the okay? Just say like a Fat Joe type, like a Fat Joe, Cardi B, like their skin complexion, but they also. Most people just almost consider them black. You know what I'm saying? Like we even knowing them Spanish, like you would be like, yeah, Cardi B is a black female rapper. You know what I'm saying? You would have to consciously be like, oh, well, actually, she, whatever. So my point is, if they were of that more skin complexion, would they have to be of Fat Joe, just say Cardi B type of attitude, or could they be more of a,
No, he could be straight Rico Suave.
One of these salsa.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. He can be straight Rico Suave.
Gotcha.
Cool with me.
But what would be the preference between those two types? Just say like the more urban, if you will, type between the Rico Suave type.
I don't think I really have a preference.
Okay.
I would date a black man, I would date a Hispanic man, and you don't have to be any type of black man, and you don't have to be any type of Hispanic man. Like, I don't care about complexions and stuff like that. That's not,
Gotcha. I feel you. So even with complexion, so you don't like light skinned niggas over dark skinned niggas or whatever like that.
No.
Gotcha. What about height? Height, weight.
Oh my God, I would prefer you be like tall, but that's like a tall man is like a unicorn.
Really? People short like that out here?
Niggas be short. Like they not. That's so annoying. No, I'm not even playing. Like,
but you're tall though. You're like what?
I am.
Right.
And
so
it's annoying. Like I'm
always. How tall are you?
5'7".
5'7", right?
I'm 5'7", so I feel like I always meet men that are like 5'7". Why are you 5'7"?
5'9" or
like,
something. Yeah.
5'7", 5'9". I put on my heels and I'm looking at you in the eyes. Like that's so annoying.
No, that makes sense. I can see that. I
swear. It's like
oh man.
I just like big boys though. Now I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes I do like. I think I just like men. Just be black
right.
and love you. Because I like chubby men. I don't really like skinny men though.
Got you.
I don't. Yeah. I don't like that. I need you to have like a little weight.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think and this is more catered to the black man specifically, do you think when it comes down to black men and just say their treatment of the black woman, if we were talking about just black love here, I mean, what's your perspective on that in reference to whether it's chivalry or whatever? Like, do you think that's dead? Do you think, all men cheat? Do you think niggas ain't shit, but hoes and tricks, or, what's your thoughts?
I think our community is so lost. It's hard because you can't just put it. I do think that men are a lot less respectful now. Mm-hmm. And you can't just put it all on the men. You have to put it on the women as well. I think we all have to carry this because sometimes these men are not as respectful, but sometimes these women are not respectful of themselves either. So it's kind of like if you're not giving a man something to respect, then you're not going to get it.
Right.
So I feel like a man would try who allows him to try them. Like if you allow a man to try you, he's going to try you that way. If you don't give him something to respect, he's not going to respect you. I don't have an issue with niggas respecting me because I'm a demander and you know it. Like my presence is going to let you know like you're going to respect me. So I don't experience that a lot because I demand it, period.
Gotcha. You sound demanding saying it.
So those type of situations I can't really speak to because I don't know what it's like for a man not to respect me because I'm probably going to punch you in your face.
But you have friends. I mean, I'm sure you've seen friends over time, just deal with, whatever.
I've seen friends over time not be disrespected by a man because I think I have pretty respectable friends, but I have seen friends over time get played by men continuously. So just dogging them out.
Gotcha.
And I'm just like one of those girls. I haven't really had that story. Like, I don't really know about heartbreak. I hope that doesn't come one day. Like, I don't really know about that type of stuff.
Right.
I promise you. Like, I was talking to my sister, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Leave him. Don't ask me for advice. Don't ask me for advice, because I'm gonna tell you, F that nigga.
Right. Do you have, like, throughout your life, outside of the long-term one back in the day, but like, have you been in more like relationship, like long-term relationships now, or have you just kind of like just casually dated? Or
I mean, yeah, because after, that my little childhood relationship, my high school sweetheart, we lasted for years, and then, my children's father. So yeah, I've had like longer type of relationships, and then just guys I talk to, but
with the relationship, like with the long-term relationships, were any of them ended because of like, cheating or something like that? Or
yeah. Absolutely. And that's why I don't tolerate it. So I had a little heartbreak when I was younger, so it's not happening ever again. You get your heart broke once, you're not going to put yourself in a position to let it happen again. I only have to learn a lesson once. And so my high school sweetheart, he was just like the biggest whore.
The one you met here in Jacksonville?
Yes. He was like a big whore. And you know what's funny? He actually had a baby on me with a white woman. Hey.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he did. So, and still to this day, he texts me and calls me. He's still trying to be with me. He always tells me that I'm the one that got away. Yes, sir, I am.
Right. Yeah. And just out of curiosity, so the New York guy, there was never any type of cheating, whatever, in that whole young relationship?
No, I mean, if it was, none that I was aware of. Right. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he was popping, so I'm pretty sure he was doing him.
Right.
But I didn't find out, and that's all that matters.
Okay. That's a bold statement. I didn't say. Do you still feel like that today? Like, if somebody cheating you, as long as you don't know, that's all that matters? Or you mean just for that situation?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like, I mean, if I don't know, okay, big whoop. And I'm like one of those people, I'm not gonna go looking for it. Like, I'm not like one of those women. I'm not insecure. I'm not like, oh, give me your phone, let me go through it and see what you're doing. If I have to even think that you're cheating, if the thought comes up and I'm suspicious, then you can just go.
Gotcha.
So whatever you're doing, if you are, you be careful. You don't bring no shit back to me, okay? But not catch nothing. And that's all I can ask of. Now, do I want a man to cheat on me? Absolutely, the hell not.
Right, for sure.
But if you are, sir, please make sure that shit don't get back to me. And that's it.
Gotcha.
That's all I can ask for.
Gotcha. No, I definitely would want to know.
You would want to know? I mean, so this is the thing though, because it's a touchy situation, like, especially because with men, y'all are different, but with women, we're a little bit more forgiving. And so finding out and knowing kind of ends up causing more damage and hurt to yourself than not knowing. Because a lot of times the woman is going to stay. You're going to find out that he's cheating, and then you're going to stay. So what did you go and find out for? If you had suspicion he's cheating and you went through his phone and you knew once you found that information, you wasn't going to do anything with it, why did you go and find it out?
Right.
It was better for you not to have known and just lived in peace than for you to know, stay with him, and then be angry and then don't trust him.
Right. No, I feel that. But see, I think the only mistake I've made in the past, and I'm really just learning this based off of something that you said. Like, for me, if I've never like looked unless I got like the inkling, and I guess the inkling would always just be like, I don't know, whatever it would be. But I think what you're saying is much wiser in the sense of, if I even have to think, then you just make a decision there. You know what I'm saying? I think that goes ahead and just nips stuff in the bud, because if you ever, and I know this from experience, because I've definitely been cheated on and stayed before, and I've been cheated on and left. But the when I stayed, you definitely, like, if you get cheated on and stay, that relationship is never the same.
It's not.
It's never the same. Like, because like the one person's always trying to prove you don't necessarily know what's genuine. You don't really, like right. I remember I was dating a girl. I've been shitted on by women, believe it or not. But I remember I was dating a girl. Like I would get like my heart would stop if I heard her phone like vibrate like from a text message or something. Because now mind you, I don't know who it is, but that's what drove me crazy. It's because I didn't know. Like oh shit, she got a text message. I'd be looking at the clock like oh shit, it's 9:30 at night. Who the fuck is texting at this time? Man, it could be just her sister, mama, whatever. But that type of anxiety is no way to live, and that's all that finding out and then trying to live with it. That's all that does. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's nothing to hold on to. If y'all already been married 10 years and y'all got 16 kids, then okay, you got something to fight for. But I'm saying like, just in a relationship in general that you feel like you can walk away from, I would suggest just doing it. So
then I ask you this, because my sister always, she can't believe that I'm like this, but what do you feel about informing your friend that their significant other is cheating? Because I'm the type, I'm not telling you.
It depends on the type of friend you're talking about. Now, if you're talking about like a friend that like we cool because we always see each other at church on Sunday, this the homie, whatever like that, and then whatever, I'm staying out of his business. Now, if you're talking about like one of my best friends in the world, somebody who I would take a bullet for, I'm taking a video of that bitch outside with the nigga. Like I'm recording this whole thing, and I'm saying, no, sir, right here.
I can't do that. Okay, so if my best friend, I'm just thinking about her right now, and she's a married woman, she has children, she has a family with this man, and their life is perfect, right? And she's none the wiser that her man is cheating on her. She is so happy. And I happen to stumble upon this man cheating in public. I'm going to walk right past him like I did not see him. I am not bringing that to my best friend to shatter her world.
Whose fault is that? Is that his fault or is that your fault? You didn't go looking for him. Once again, it's not, you're talking about, it's a difference if like, just what, like you set him up and let's see what he do in this situation. That's one thing. But I'm saying like, but if I'm just out and I look over, I'm like, I know that ain't Keisha. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's that one of them type of moments, I would do one or two things. Like, especially depending on the person. Like, if they're the type of person who wouldn't believe me, like if I told them, then
right. And that's the fear for me.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I would just wait till I have proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. If it's the type of person who I know would take my word for it, then I would just tell them. But if it's the type of person who they be like, man, nah, man, then I would definitely find a way to sneak a picture or something. I would do some investigating.
But see, the thing is, like, with women, like, you never know how a woman is going to react when she's getting cheated on. Like, even if you think you know her, you don't know her. Because sometimes women play the fool. And when you in love, you just like a totally different person. And then I've seen people, like, get cheated on, you tell them, and then they make it seem like you did something wrong. Like, you purposely went to go find this information. Or, and so, y'all not friends. And then if that's who she's with, and now he not feeling you because you don't came and brought this information to her. So now y'all relationship is messed up. So you got to think about it multiple ways. I got to think about, am I potentially ruining a good thing for her or whatever, like her life basically.
But that's what I'm saying. But how is it good though? How is it good? He's playing her. How is that good? It's not good if he's playing her. But like if it's I would much rather tell my friend and lose the friend than to keep a friend and know. I can't do it. I can't live with that. Because then what if they find out and then find out that you knew the whole time?
How they gonna know I knew?
But I'm just saying in general, I'm just creating a scenario. I'm saying if for whatever reason, I
did not see that man.
if for whatever reason, if it comes out later that not only, just like when, T.I. got mad at Nunu about, knowing the whole, or no, excuse me, not Nunu, but Esquire about knowing that Nunu was fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a thing about, like, you got your reasons for not wanting to tell me. You want to give her the chance, whatever. You don't want to mess up your scholarship, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, like, how you going to be with me every single day and know this information and never say something? I just can't do it.
I don't know. I guess because, like, I had a friend back in the day, and her boyfriend used to dog her out. He used to cheat on her so bad. I mean, just cheat. Just, it was horrible. And I used to tell her at first, and she was dumb and she kept staying, and she would get like combative. I'm not telling you no more. Just forget it. And now you ruined it for every other friend.
but see, I don't think you have to. I don't think I would just keep representing it like, oh look, call that bitch again. Oh look, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would just do that. Like I would give you one for whatever, and you do with this whatever you want to. Whether it's stay and hate me, whether it's leave and hate, whatever you decide, I'll let you do it. But for me, I'd rather the blood not be on my hands. Now, and that's why I'm the type of person where I really stay to myself, and I don't really want to know anybody's business because I don't ever want to be in a position to then have to tell. So in this regards, I would agree with you. You kind of said it more or less for you being in a relationship, but I would much rather not know that my homeboy's girl is cheating on him than to know and then have to, because if I know and we got, and you're the type of person who like, I deal with you on the regular. Once again, if you're just like a college football teammate that we see each other once a year at homecoming, I ain't touching that. I ain't in it that deep. Yeah. But if you're somebody I deal with on the regular, I got to tell you.
I think it would just depend on what type of friend you are. Like, are you going to tell this man that I told you? Because if I think you're going to tell him I told you, I'm not telling.
Nece said she saw.
If you can't keep a secret, and I know you're going to tell this man the first thing that comes out your mouth, and he say how you know, and you're going to throw me under the bus, I'm not telling you.
No, that's real.
People crazy, and
that's real.
Tell me because I tell you.
Right.
No,
that's real. That's real. No. That's real. I get it. Have you ever cheated on somebody in a relationship?
No.
Okay. I haven't either, believe it or not. People don't ever believe me when I tell you that, but I haven't been in much relationships either. But I whenever I decide to get in one, I just do it, and if I'm hoeing, I'm just hoeing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you look like you would cheat. I don't know. That's great.
I swear, I've never cheated on the 3 or 4 girlfriends, whatever I've ever had in my life. I've never cheated, but like I said, when I was single, I definitely dealt with multiple women at a time, but I didn't necessarily hide it from them either. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm single, I'm not answering to nobody. Period.
You just don't seem like the type that's gonna just get in a relationship either.
Why not? I'm definitely the relationship type.
No, like you're not just like, okay, let me be in a relationship with her. Let me be in a. It's not easy.
Oh, right, for sure. No,
some people like throw that title around, like
No, that's 100%. Yeah, no, that's 100%.
They're gonna have to work for that.
That's 100%. No, that's 100% sure. Yeah, as far as I'm saying, I've literally had three or four, and every last one of them I got cheated on. So there's I used to come back to Jacksonville with a new story every time. We be sitting at dinner, and I'd be like, well, let me tell y'all what happened this time.
Wait, what is happening that you've had 4 relationships and like all 4 of them have cheated? Rudy, what are you doing?
Well, so let's see. So it wasn't. I don't even think it was 4. So I had 2 of them. So one in high school, 2 in the military. Yeah. So that's. I mean, I had like I had like 4th grade or something, but I don't really. I'm saying like a serious relationship, like somebody I was actually like dating. So yeah, I had those 3. The one in high school, I mean, yeah, she slept with my cousin, and then the two in the military. I mean, in my opinion, I just think they were just, they were just young. Like I think I just dated them in their whole phase, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So because they were younger than me, so like when you're in a relationship and you're the only person taking it serious between the 2 of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're not even in a relationship.
Right. So you know what I'm saying. So I think it really just stems from that, because everybody, in my opinion, goes through some sort of a whole phase, some bigger than others. But I just think I caught both of them in theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, Rudy.
So, you
haven't really had a relationship. You've been entangled.
Right. Which I always think about, like like whenever I do get into a relationship, like I don't even know if I even know how to do it right, because I haven't had much practice. So, but I definitely know what I don't want. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I got a pretty busy life right now, so I don't know when that'll even be happening. But I definitely want to be.
I'm ready to start my family. What if you want to go get your damn cane? Well, go pick your Walker up. Talking about you want a baby now. Oh, that's out of here.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely at that point. Not the baby, but in reference to like if whatever relationship I get into, like next, I would definitely at least hope that would be the person I would eventually marry. I'm not really like into hoeing no more, or whatever. Yeah. So I'm just I'm pretty. I'm 31, but I'm living in my 60s at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I
As
mean,
far
yeah,
as
you look it.
had Christmas tree up since July. So this is what I do
Yeah.
now. This is what I do. You feel me?
I mean, the lights are not even all there.
They actually came with the tree, so I didn't even have to put these on. Yeah, this is
Like,
all.
it's missing in certain spots.
It's a little. I mean, it was free. I didn't pay for it. Okay, I got it on its way to the dumpster. You know what I'm
Free
saying?
is good as long as the tree does not have COVID.
Well, I mean, I've had it for months, so I haven't lost my taste buds as of yet, so I'm all right. So I got a few more questions for you. A few more questions. Number one, I wanted to slightly going back to well, I thought of this question actually. I should say when you were talking about just say like the whole mixed race stuff or whatever like that in reference to dating, but even outside of that, has 2020 specifically the events surrounding Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, whoever. Obviously, and I always tell people, us as Black people, we know that this stuff has been going on, but obviously 2020 was different, whether it was because of the pandemic or whatever. But I feel like everybody's awareness, at the least, even Black people, has heightened some. So, like, what exactly has that part of 2020 done for your, just say, wanting to help the Black agenda, Black, just say pride, if you will? Like, what has that done for all that?
It's so crazy because I feel like for me, it's kind of like been the opposite.
Okay.
Like how some people are like enlightened and the fire has been like, they're getting hyped up and they want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's kind of like been the reverse. Like I kind of like took like a defeated approach. Like I'm tired of this. Clearly, like nothing's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've kind of taken like that type of approach to it, which is terrible. I'm not proud of it, but it's just kind of like, especially like because when you get on social media, and that's why like a lot of times now, like I'll go on my little social media cleanse for a week. I'll just deactivate not deactivate, I'll delete my apps and stuff like that, and I won't go on anything. And I'm doing it like every other week. But like when you get on social media and you still see like the views of some of your people,
right? And
it's like the battle, I can't even begin to fight these other people because I got to fight y'all first. Y'all so dumb, right? And it's like we can't unite and ask for anybody to treat us a certain way when we don't even want to treat each other a certain way, right? So I don't know. It's kind of like, because I'll see people out there. Even like when you watch like the news and stuff like that, I'm seeing like a lot of like non-Black people out there fighting harder for us while we still trying to go to the club with no mask during COVID. You know what I'm saying? So right. I feel defeated in that way because it's like almost like I don't know if my people really get it. I don't know if enough of us get it, and we cannot ask somebody to treat us better if we're not doing it first. So,
right. I feel that. I think, but I still think that is sort of an enlightenment because even with being enlightened doesn't necessarily mean that it has to like spark to want to do something. But I still think that's an enlightenment because it shows you how we reacted in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because like realistically, like you don't whether it's real life or a movie, like you don't necessarily like care about every death that happens. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is like I was just because I do a movie podcast as well, and we had watched Fast and the Furious 5, and I was talking about how this is my first time ever watching it after like learning more about like filmmaking, and I realized that it's not as good of a movie as I thought. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of filmmaking. Now, entertainment wise, it still holds up. Like it's still, zoom, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm actually aware of like what's supposed to be what, I'm just like, this is, But the point I'm even getting at is that there are a lot of people who died in Fast and the Furious 5 that are never even a character, just random people in the bank while they dragging cars and save through there. Like people died, but we didn't, as an audience member, you don't get sad about that person getting wiped out. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still locked in on this. And so the same thing in real life. If a person, just say dies, on the other side of the world, you'll hear about it. You'll be like, oh, that's fucked up. You're not gonna shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? You ain't tripping. You ain't whatever. So all of this stuff, you know, I think the bigger deaths, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd's, Ahmaud Arbery's, I think those deaths, because of the headlines and stuff like that, got the type of attention that they got from everybody, you know, whatever like that. But to your point, I think Black people, especially even the younger ones, we're just more or less on the desensitized side of it. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, boom, this is fucked up. They done killed this girl. They done killed this guy. You know, stand on his neck on TV, blah, blah, blah. Like, we should do something. Okay, we've done something. Wait a minute. COVID's still here. We still got to stay inside? Oh, no. Mm-hmm. I ain't been on no vacation yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's why our minds are gone. We don't care anymore. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and so that's to your point. That's what I meant by like, you don't care about, like, even if you care enough to be like, dang, but they shot the girl in her sleep, the boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. No, man, that's fucked up. Okay, hashtag Breonna Taylor justice, whatever like that. Okay, I've posted it now. Now, what club is open? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying?
And it's annoying because it's like, y'all have been BLMing all year, okay? So since March, y'all have been Black Lives Matter. Oh, this is just ridiculous. We got to change. So from March and then November comes and we can't even get y'all to go and vote.
Right.
Y'all still want to argue with us about why voting is irrelevant. Right. So It's kind of like beating a dead horse sometimes. It's just frustrating. And I don't know, I guess because also my job is in politics and I work for a social media company. I can't say who or whatever. And so this is all I do all day long.
Gotcha.
And it's a lot. So when I get off of work, I'm just like, I got to get away from this.
Gotcha.
Something, please.
Right. Please. So even a quick question about that, a quick transition. I know you can't get into particulars of where you work, whatever like that, but just workforce in general, whether it's where you work now, where you worked in the past, what has that experience been like in reference to being a Black woman in the workforce? In reference to, like, have you dealt with discrepancies because of that, whether being a woman or, you know, Black or both, or just whatever?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, I don't feel like I've experienced discrimination in the workplace. Not first-handed, like I have not. But I have seen situations or whatever. But for me personally, I'm just a good worker. So I have amazing work ethics. So no matter where I work, I'm going to be one of the best people at that particular place of employment. So Gotcha. Because I'm such a good worker, I don't usually run into those type of things because I feel like my work speaks for itself. So I don't even think anyone looks at the fact that I'm Black. Now, will that happen somewhere later on down the line? I'm pretty sure because right now I'm working 2 jobs, basically. I have 2 jobs because I have the job where I know that's where I want to be. And then I have the job in politics that I've been doing for like the past 2 years and I just don't want to let it go.
Gotcha.
So maybe on that other job, which is like in the banking field, as I continue to try to climb those ladders, maybe I'll run into that. But as of right now, I haven't seen it. But I am one of those people in the workplace, something's going on, even if it don't involve me, excuse me, Janice is speaking up. Right. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have anything to do with me. Right. I'm gonna speak up, I'm gonna write a letter, I'm going to call this person, even if it's happening to you, it's happening to me. Because if they try you, they'll be trying me one day. Right. So I haven't dealt with it directly, but I have had to speak up for other people.
Gotcha.
And I will get it done because y'all not gonna try me.
And other people, these people were Black women or what?
Yeah, Black women, just women in general as well. Because there's just so many different forms of discrimination, you know. Where I feel like women, period, sometimes get the short end of the stick, regardless of their color. And then of course Black women just
right. It's always poured on even more. Like it's like you're already a woman, but then you're Black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So no, I get it.
Right.
I get it. And you never. So this is my final question before the final question. You never really answered this. Do you think that chivalry's dead, or do you even require chivalry, opening doors? Just whatever, that whole situation.
I don't think it's dead. I absolutely don't think it's dead. I think that I think it's still there, and I think you just have to require it.
Gotcha.
If you get up and y'all about to go into the building and you pull the door for him first, then you're gonna keep pulling the door for the rest of that relationship. Okay.
he gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess she got it.
Yeah, she got me. She got me. No, nigga, I don't.
Right.
So if we getting out the car and we about to go into the building, I'm gonna step back because I know you're about to open up the door.
Is that for the car door as well? Do you do the car door thing? Because I remember y'all. I'm about to say I remember y'all making me open 4 car doors just to get into the truck with y'all. And I'm like,
But that's because at the time our pastor told us that's what needed to be done.
Right.
You know, but it's those type of things. I think it's just all about what you require of someone. So I don't think it's that. I just think you have to require it.
Gotcha. You definitely require it.
I think that there's hope. I think it's hope in all of these men. I think Black men are still amazing. Do I think all men cheat? Absolutely not. So I think a lot of them cheat. Absolutely. And it's not even like they're not trying to be malicious. Sometimes monogamy is hard, you know, and then sometimes we don't always want to do it either. A lot of times, you know, they don't want to talk about that aspect of it, but a lot of times women, we can be, you know, we get in our moods and we don't want to. And there's certain things that a man still needs and we will neglect that if we ain't with it. You know, so it's a lot of things that goes into play with a man cheating and stuff like that. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Dope. Well, then we got our final question of the word bitch. How do you feel about this word? Do you use it with your friends? Can your friends call you it? Can a gay man call you it? Can your boyfriend call you it during sex if it's really erotic? Like, oh, can your boyfriend be like, you know, you got your nice outfit on? He's like, oh, look, my bitch bad. Oh, that's my bitch right there. You know, whatever the scenario is, how do you feel?
All right. Well, you know, being the classy hood bitch that I am, I don't look too deep into it. I think for me, it's the intent. Like, you know, what are you intending when you're using that with me? For the most part, absolutely, that's my bitch. Like me and my homegirls, that's my bitch.
Right.
We gonna bitch it up all day.
Right.
Bitch.
Right.
Bitch. Bitch, let me tell you.
Right.
So we're gonna do that. But and then my gay homeboys, you know, I love my queens. They gonna call me bitch because they like my homegirl. But as far as like a man, I would prefer you not to call me a bitch. And I just like if you have like a certain level of respect for me, you're not gonna call me a bitch. But I will say this, dealing with the type of men that I have dealt with, a lot of them being street niggas, you know, if he be like, that's my bitch, I'm not offended because I know that's his slang. That's
right, for sure.
No, he don't mean no harm. But if we're arguing and you say bitch, nigga, I'm gonna slap you. Don't play with me.
Right.
So for me, it depends. Like, what is your intentions when you're using this word? If he with his homeboys, like, you know, that's my bitch or whatever. All right. Cute.
Right.
But, you know, for me, it's the same thing with like baby mama. Like when I first had my children with my son, with my children's father, he thought that it was okay to just throw that term around. It bothers me. I don't like it because first of all, I wanted to be married when I had my children, so I'm already mad that I'm a baby mama. So what I'm not gonna do is call me that shit. Okay? That's the mother of my children. I'm a damn good mother, not a baby mother. So don't play with me.
You know, it's interesting. I remember I learned that lesson in reference to like the like with dealing with a hood nigga, and like that's just how they talk. Because I remember my oldest sister's baby mama, baby daddy or father of her kids. He straight out the gutter. Like one of the hoodest niggas I've ever met in my life. But I remember like dealing with I just say a pregnancy scare in high school or whatever. I remember having a conversation with him, and he was like, yeah, such man, you don't fuck around and got one of these bitches pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And I remember correcting him, like, oh, like, man, no, she ain't a bitch. Don't call her that, man. You know, like she a good girl, whatever, like that. And he was like, nigga, I don't mean like that. That's just how I talk. You know what I'm saying? And that was his whole explanation. Man, that's just how I talk. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like you don't, cause that's what I got the difference that there is really differences in what people think bitch means, and just conversation
like
where it comes from.
No, bitch is just like nigga. Like sometimes it's a term of endearment, and then sometimes it's
niggas
racially driven. So it just depends. It depends on who's using it. It depends on the context that they're using it. But I also think at the end of the day, we shouldn't put too much into it. Like some people will really like go crazy about somebody calling them a bitch. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna walk away after you say that word. I'm like, yeah, that bitch.
Right.
That
right.
one. Right. So it just depends on what you allow him to do with that word. I'm not gonna give it too much power, even if you do use it.
Gotcha.
This is what it is.
Gotcha.
So, Rudy, don't call me no bitch. You can't call me bitch.
I've never.
It's not okay. You can't say it. Let's be clear.
I don't even call women bitches at all. Only time I even refer to women as bitches if I'm ever like telling a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm on stage, I'm even like, yeah, these crazy bitches, something like that. Like I do something like that, but I don't ever like point at a woman in the ground like, bitch, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not.
Even when you had dreads.
Yes, I'm always. What do you mean? Like I've always been a respectable person.
You had that rough look back in the day, so not even then, bitch didn't just slip out.
No? Never. No, my mama raised me right, man. I'm you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
I didn't necessarily always make the right decisions, but I never did anything like, I wasn't out here just a fucked up person, just, people think I am now, but that's neither here nor there,
We'll talk.
The Saints ain't too fond of me these days, but
I mean, well, when their bishop is cussing on stage.
Their bishop. Well, it is what it is. So with that being said, that is the end of our interview. Do you have anything? I know you kind of like off the grid at times, whatever. Do you have anything you want to like promote? Whether it's a website, Instagram, you selling, t-shirts, candles, or something?
Ask me, do I want to propose to you?
I said promote.
Oh, promote. Okay, where's this going? No, I don't have anything I want to promote, but this has been fun.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you had fun. Jesus.
And I had to use the bathroom. So let's wrap this up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You could have said something a long time ago. We could have just paused it.
You could do that?
Yeah, you gonna pee on yourself?
You tell me that an hour later.
I didn't know you had to go. Well, anyways, that's been another installment of Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch? I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate our guest, Janice. Is your I'm not even trying to be funny when I ask this. Is your last name Preston as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Why are you telling YouTube my name or wherever this shit is going?
Oh my God.
My last name is Dash.
You can't even be found. You be off social media and stuff. You
want to find me, you can find me at Nece Dash.
Nece Dash. Right. Yeah, that's
okay. My last name.
Gotcha. Dash. This will be up in a few weeks because we got other episodes to post, but you'll be popping on the No Life Boys production YouTube channel. And other than that, yeah, that's it, man. So appreciate you coming and go use the bathroom.
Thank you.